All right, we are here now with Justin Masterson. Justin, thanks for joining us tonight.
Hey, it's great to be here. I'm very honored.
Where else are you going to be, right?
Well, there is a part of that, yes.
Yeah. So we've got a lot of things that I want to ask you and give you time to share, and I'll shut up and let you do a lot of talking. Everybody's heard enough of me tonight. But Justin, tell us about where you grew up, what sport you played, and then how you ended up in the major leagues.
Yeah, well, I am an Ohio guy, but I was born in Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica. My dad was teaching over there, was the dean of students, Jamaican Theological Seminary. So I was made in America, but born in Jamaica. I'll let you think through that one. But then grew up most of my life in Ohio. I think from 6 years old until I was really 18, going off to college, and then getting married and moving along. Ohio guy, grew up Dayton area, Beaver Creek to be exact, and Beaver Creek High School. Played some basketball and baseball there. Actually made my high school baseball team as a catcher. I tried out as a pitcher. Wasn't really, I don't know, wasn't going well. So I asked if I could throw some down to second base. Threw some down, and so then I was the starting catcher for JV that my freshman year. And then I pitched a little bit, and then pitched, and then years and years later, I'm pitching in the major leagues. Went to Bethel College for 2 years up in Mishawaka, Indiana. Transferred to San Diego State after I played in the Cape Cod League, one of the premier college summer leagues for baseball. And then I got drafted after my junior year, and went to the Boston Red Sox, second round of the 2006 draft. So it was lots of fun.
And you know what? One of my sons got one of your ball cards, and he was obviously bummed that we couldn't do this at a national live event. He's like, I was going to have him autograph. So I might be sending that in the mail to you to autograph. We'll see.
Please do. Please do.
All right. So tell me the transition from college into the professional ball. What kind of challenges did you face there?
Well, even in the college world, it was interesting. You had high school, enjoyed high school, but a lot of the people on the high school teams, they enjoyed to have some fun in ways of partying and maybe doing extracurriculars that were potentially illegal. And then I go to Bethel, which is a Christian school. I'm supposed to watch rated R movies, definitely no alcohol or anything like that. And then I transferred to San Diego State, and in one sense, the atmosphere was a lot like high school. And at that time, San Diego State was like the number 5 party school in the country.
Wow.
And not that I partook in those things, but you just see, again, the atmosphere. And I'm around the guys on the team, and many of them are part of those things. And a lot of really cool, neat guys, just living some lifestyles that I wasn't accustomed to or wanted to be a part of, but could still love on them. So then when I jumped to pro ball, it was very similar in the sense of, again, there's a scene that people are going after outside of the game of baseball that I didn't necessarily need to be a part of, but I'm in the people business. Like I love people, and I love impacting lives in a positive way. So for me, it was just this continuous journey of being around people, encouraging them, loving them. And so when I jumped into the professional baseball realm, it's easy to get sucked in and lose who you are. But thankfully, the Lord was watching over me, and I was able to come in there and kind of set a different tone, where it's a very selfish world, and yet I brought a big, bald guy who loves hugging people, which I can't do right now. It's very difficult for me. Would just go hug people in a world where you're out for number one. Like in pro baseball, there's one job at the big league level that we're all fighting for. And I tried to show that there's a way where we can love each other and encourage each other. And in the end, we'll make it. If we're good enough, we'll find a spot. And in the baseball world, there's 29 other teams that we have an opportunity to be at. So just trying to change that idea and those concepts in my own mind, which a big part of my world is just kind of renewing the words in my mind. Christ talks about it all the time, but it's just changing how it's said in the world of baseball, it was very helpful. And then in life, just working through that, allowed me to see things differently, which allowed me to approach things differently and be okay throughout that game.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to ask you too about the challenges you faced, whether it was in high school, college, or in pro ball, but how, the mindset of an athlete is so difficult to stay focused and stay positive. And it seems like, we're always trying to encourage our students and our athletes to deal with the mindset. Obviously, we're all about the heart and the spiritual part, and there's a connection there. How do you handle the negativity or the challenge of staying positive in what you did?
Yeah, well, I am very thankful for parents who, my mom would play catch with me. My dad would play catch with me. Well, until I bent my mom's ring through the glove. And then she said, I think it's time for us to move on and you have to go with somebody else.
Yeah.
But I joke, but I think there's some truth to it. Whereas always I was their kid and was decent. Of course, they always thought I was good. But the aspect, I don't think they really thought I was that good until I made my major league debut. And then it was kind of like, oh, wow, like I guess he is kind of good at this game. And I say that because that was very helpful in not adding expectations that didn't need to be there. I see it now in the coaching that I've done. I'm sure you've seen it. I saw it when I was playing in minor league baseball, where a guy was frustrated because he had a not as good outing as he would like. And he was fearful of what his dad would say to him, because the only way they connected was through this game and through his performance. And so that in turn made it very difficult for many guys to perform and go about it, because they're having these undue expectations put on them, where we as athletes, we put expectations high enough. Like you can't expect out of me more than what I expect out of myself. And so I just continue to fight forward, to go forward and do the best that I can. And ultimately knowing that Christ, who is in my life, actually allows me to fight harder. There are many times that people would say, oh, you love Jesus, so you must mean you're kind of soft, you don't know how to go about it. And I said, well, let me tell you this. Actually, because I have Christ in my life, allows me to go faster, stronger, harder, and do all those things, because I'm not concerned about what other people are going to say. Like, I don't have to do this because I need to perform well so that he sees how well I do. Like, Christ is the only one that matters. And he's put in me the desire to work hard and do the best that I can. So I'm going to go out there and work harder than any of you, not so I can get to this position, because that's the way God's wired me and ingrained within me to go after it. And so that, again, that little mindset was some of the difference makers, to be able to deal with some of the things that would come along. Because, expectations are great because they push you towards something. But when you don't have people in your corner, when you surround yourself with those people where their opinions of you are based off of how you perform or what you do, it was nice to have people, look at me at times and be like, oh, great, complete game shutout. Awesome. Now go change your daughter's diaper. Yeah, like those little things that just keep you grounded and down to earth. And that, I'll say that there are some people in my life who I wouldn't model a lot of my life after them, but they were really good at making sure I never lost sight of the idea that I wanted to play baseball, but also tell people about Jesus. Mm-hmm. So they helped keep me grounded in some very positive ways.
Wow. So you're surrounding yourself with the right people, and you had, especially your parents' support, that they kept the expectations low, and that biblical background in you. But like you said, Christ in you. And for you to remind yourself of that truth, that, as I've often faced recently, the whole thought of, why am I feeling so fearful? Why am I so discouraged? The enemy should be intimidated by me because Christ is in me. He should look at me and be intimidated, not me look at him and be intimidated. And when you say Christ in you, that is so true and so strong. And I hope everybody listening tonight is like, yeah, I need to sink that truth in and dig into that. Do you have a favorite Bible verse or story that sort of helped you throughout your life?
Yeah, I started where I'd put Philippians 4:13, which I still love Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I love the idea, the background of Paul's in jail and he's at, his wit's end. And it's not really this, he's talking about being content, and he's just sitting there going like, hey, I have nothing right now, but I know that I can do all things in Christ. And like, that was like an empowering part. But then John 16:33, Jesus has just been talking to his disciples about all different types of things. He says, I've told you all these things so you may have peace in me. In this life, you will face many trials and sorrows, but take heart, for I have overcome the world. And that's just like the banner call of going after it, of things will not always work out the way you hope. Things are not working out the way I hope. I'd love to be on a baseball field coaching some high schoolers, being around my buddies. I'm sure a lot of you would like to be out in your spring sport if you have that opportunity. You feel like the world is against you, all this hard work that you've put out. Am I going to be able to get this scholarship because I couldn't play and I needed to get some last things in my senior year? Or I'm leading up to these classes I was trying to get in for my senior year, maybe some AP, whatever it might be. Like there's a lot of that. And it's like in this life, you're going to face many trials and sorrows. Very thankful that this is not the end. Like this is not what we're attaining to be great in this world. It's to be with Christ, one day. And he says, take heart, for I have overcome the world. I look at it where the devil he's roaming around like a roaring lion. Like there's a reason that he could look at Christ when he tempted him and say, I can give you these kingdoms, because he has some authority here. Yet Christ is the ultimate authority, and he will crush him when the time is right. But he has overcome the world by dying on the cross and then raising again. And that's the hope. That's what excites me. That's what keeps me moving. That's what keeps me going even right now. That's what helped me out when I'm giving up grand slams to Jose Bautista or Miguel Cabrera, whoever it might be, losing the game when I give up, it's the seventh inning. It's Sunday night baseball. We're playing the Yankees. And all I got to do is throw a slider down away, and I hang it. Brett Gardner pokes it up the middle, 2-run score. I get taken out, throw my glove. My mom looks at me and says, son, are you okay? You threw your glove. I'm like, Mom, you should have seen all the other things I threw. And then taking a big breath and going like, why? Easy, brother. Easy. Take a deep breath. Like God is sovereign. God's got this. Let's get after it. And, a few other things within there. But that's ultimately it. Like he's got this. And he tells us we're going to face trials and sorrows. This is going to happen. And if we're around long enough, it's going to happen more than we like. One guy once told me in pitching after, I had a tough outing. He's like, you know what, son? Hopefully you're around long enough to have a lot more of those. Didn't get it as much then, didn't appreciate it. But now it's like, ooh, yeah. Means I was able to be around the league for a little bit.
Yeah. Wow, that's good stuff, Justin. Thanks for sharing that. I mean, I'm hoping everybody that's listening is being encouraged by this. We need that hope. We need that encouragement and truth, especially. So let me ask you one more question, and then I might throw you just a fun or two. But
sounds great.
So let's. I feel like I'm already in the locker room. I felt this way all day. It's like people. It's like, okay, I'm getting fired up, right? So what word of advice or encouragement would you have for the athletes and the students and the parents that are watching? What would you like to say to them in conclusion?
Man, it's just such a broad question that there's like, I got a bazillion things when it comes down to it that I could lay out there. One is have peace. I mean, just kind of like I was, talking about, take a deep breath and know that God's got this. Like, this is okay. And really the secondary thing is this difference. And one of my coaches talked about it a lot, but it's the difference of liking and loving. It's like you like something, it's great. Appreciate it, want to be around it. But when you love something, like nothing else matters. And it was kind of this twofold thing that I saw. One was within the sport. It's like, do you like it or love it? You like it, you leave your options open. Love is a choice. You like it, you leave your options open. Like, well, I'll kind of go after it, but just in case, I don't want to get too involved. But when you love it, like you're in. You make this choice to be a part of it, do everything that you can to see the beauty of what that game is. And so I took that into my faith also. There's a quote that says, when you like a flower, you just pluck it, but when you love it, you water it daily. And when I took that into my sports world and into my faith, and this is kind of my challenge to everyone, is to make the choice to love. How do you find that? If you're like, I just kind of like it, but I'm not sure if I really love it. Well, look for the beauty. When you understand the beauty of who Christ is, like that's what motivates you. Like I see all the things that he's made around us, all the things that he's done for us, that he's died on the cross, the grace that he showed us. And it just like, whoo, get fired up. I go watch some baseball. I see some kids do some incredible things. And it's like, ooh, yeah, you know what? I think I do like this game. I walked away from it and it was kind of like, I can't watch it. But now I'm like, ooh, I see it again. Like I appreciate it. I know this. Like in the midst of the grind, it seems so difficult. And right now in the midst of this grind, when nothing's working out the way that we think it's going to get back and look at the beauty of what is really out there, of what brought us to this game. If not, like, let's see, like the more we get to know, the more we understand. Like when we're just on the edge, it's like, okay, this is cool. Then we dive in. That's when we really get to understand how beautiful it is. And then we can talk to other people, as we said earlier, surrounding yourself, as we talk to other people who share that love. And then that just festers it even more of like, ooh, here we go. Like, I want to talk to Rex because he just fires me up when we talk about Christ, when we're talking about sports, anything like that. Like, I need some of him. I need those people around me to continue to encourage me when it comes. So it'd be like, make that choice to figure out what you truly love. And if you're on that like side, let's see how we can boost that love.
Oh, excellent, man. Again, I feel like I'm in the dugout with you right now. And we got like 2 innings left in the game and we're down a couple runs and I'm like ready to throw my glove and say, I don't know if we can finish this. Thanks, man. I'm grabbing my glove. I'm going back out there. Now, coach might not put me in a position I want to be, but hey, I want to get back out there. So thanks, brother. I appreciate that. That's good stuff.
Yeah,
so
man.
What are you, real quick here, we'll wrap this up. What are you doing right now to get your fix for baseball? I mean, obviously, with everything that's going on, there's a pause. But before this pause, what were you doing?
Well, honestly, I've been doing some high school coaching. So I coached JV high school basketball, and then was going to roll over into high school baseball as a bullpen coach. But right now, the fix that I've been getting is going outside with my 6-year-old. And he just loves fielding ground balls.
Nice.
Like he hadn't really wanted it. And so I go out there, rolling the ball, probably yell at him too much for his throwing form, but that's a part of it.
Now, you got to fix it now. That's okay.
I figured just little tweaks.
Yeah.
In order to make sure that he enjoys it later on in life too.
No pressure. You've learned that from your parents. No pressure.
That's right. When it comes to sports, nice and easy. When it comes to life, expectations are high.
Yeah. So, okay, but baseball isn't your only enjoyment. I mean, did you have a favorite sport other than baseball growing up? Now, this past summer, I saw you playing cornhole with your kids. I was going to challenge you, but I thought, am I really going to challenge a pitcher to throw an object in a small hole area? That ain't going to happen. I only pick the battles I can win. So there was no way I was going to challenge on that. But do you have any other sports you enjoy?
I mean, I love basketball. I do love some cornhole, and I've been watching some of that professional cornhole on TV. And I'm not saying I'm at that level yet, but I used to play an old man, Larry Wright, back at church, where he'd do some incredible things. But basketball, I absolutely love. And crazy thing about that is I started getting more scholarships for baseball in high school, so I kind of backed away from the high school basketball. My high school coach, Coach Wolf, just talked to him the other day, and I was the only person he's ever told to not play another sport, just because he was fearful of the scholarships, maybe he'd get hurt, and the wealthiest family in the world, and this would just take away some burdens off your family. I said, just be careful. And I said, hey, sounds great. But I've played basketball ever since. I even played in a little league, and that's kind of what led me to coaching some high school basketball. And where that leads, I don't know. But it's just fun to be around lives and try and encourage them.
So I thought I remember hearing too. Did you like bowling? Are you a
Huh.
bowler? Or?
I do like bowling. I was a fill-in for bowling league this year, but we always go at least once a year, New Year's Day bowling. I mean, Indiana bowling is pretty big.
Yeah, yeah. I just
And,
remember back when you were with the Cleveland Indians. We had the privilege of listening to you share your testimony after one of the games. A
oh
bunch
yeah,
of churches from the missionary church gathered together. We're sitting by third base by the dugout, and you came out. And a kid said, "Hey, did you ever play club ball?" And you're like, "No, I played rec ball." And all the little kids that played travel ball were like, "What?" And then you were like, "Oh, and actually, I like bowling." Every kid there, like, you just blew them away.
yeah. Well, people don't like to hear it this day and age, but it was simple and sweet. Played some rec ball, and I'm like, well, your leagues were probably better. We have to do this league. It's like, man, if you're good, you will get there. Again, going back to that trust factor of who God is.
Yeah.
The only one I ever saw was, soccer was a sport that seemed to be they didn't really have a whole lot of rec leagues, at least when I was growing up. And so my buddies were in the travel ball, if you will, but that's because that's where it was. But other than that, man, you get out there, you probably do more, which encourage you guys today. You could probably get more out of playing in your backyard with your buddies than you will even going out on the field and those things. Just talking the game, being about the game, figuring out, like, letting your imagination work. That's what makes guys great. It's what makes everyone incredible as they move on to next levels, is that imagination.
Yeah. Well, Justin, thank you so much for sharing. You fired me up spiritually. You shared some little more about yourself personally. I appreciate that. And I'm gonna ask you, if you would, if it's okay, can I pray for you right now and your family, and then we'll wrap this up. Sound good?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, what an amazing God you are. And God, I thank you for Justin. I thank you for his family. I thank you for his testimony of what he's learned in life about sport and faith, and how his parents were instrumental in his life, and how he then has been able to be instrumental in helping others on his team, and his teammates and his coaches, and what he's learned now, he's now able to take to the high school level and in his own children. So God, I ask for your blessings to fall upon Justin and his family. Keep them safe, keep them from harm and danger, and help them, Lord, to continue to live victoriously for you. God, we love you and thank you again for all that you give us. In our name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Thanks, brother. Hopefully we'll be chatting with you again soon, and maybe come watch you coach a game or so.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And hopefully maybe one time we can get in person and not have to do all this Zoom stuff.
Exactly. No more social distancing. I was going to turn this way and give you a hug, but you got to turn. Yeah, there you go. Lean in. There you go. There we go. We better end with that. Thanks, my friend.